Hello everyone and welcome back to Bandai Product and Figure Review, your one-stop weekly update for everything Bandai product related. We have a really cool episode for us. We got another new model kit from the Rising Freedom, our Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Rising Freedom. And this is one of the newer ones that have just recently came out within the first wave that will go along with the other ones that have came out. So if you like more content like this, please like and subscribe, leave comments down below, and let's get into the video. And we are going to be looking at the Black Knight Squad Shi-Ve-A, and this is looking like a phenomenal cool kit with the cool depiction art. And from what I'm understanding, this is one of the main bad guy units in the show. So let's take a look at the side of the box, and as we can see, we have some really cool posability, plasma effects, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let us take a look at the instruction manual and inside of the box to see how well the plastic is. Let's take a look at the Black Knight Squad Shi-Ve instruction manual. And as we can see, we have a beautiful art depiction right here showcasing the Shi-Ve units. And we also have the unit description, which is in both Japanese and in English for you non-Japanese speakers. So this is really cool to allow us to actually be able to read and understand more about the unit that was featured in Gundam Seed Rising Freedom, or Seed Freedom. And we also get a synopsis of the pilot. You can pause this, zoom in, and kind of take a read on this, but we're going to be moving on. So we're going to take a look at the back of the instruction manual, and this gives us a pretty cool posability for a lot of the weapons and this cool kind of plasma cape, and it gives us fairly cool articulation. Moving on to the inside, when we first open this up, we see our runners and all our parts. So this is going to be a fairly simple kit. It does have a few it's not as sticker heavy as the Rising Freedom, but it does have a little bit of stickers that I might consider painting, since a lot of them are gray, and I got some Gundam markers I can play with. So moving on, we have the head unit, the chest unit, and the shoulder armor on here. So he does a really good job explaining and putting this all together. And as we can see, we get a nice waist unit on how everything attaches. Same with the legs, and it looks like various stickers are going to be applied onto the sides, which are going to be like a gray sticker. So I have Gundam markers. I'll probably try to paint these details, so definitely look forward to that. And how everything assembles. And we even have the backpack portion, which this series is famous for its variety of backpack units, and that is what makes this so darn cool. And I wish they would have had these be multiple pieces. That would have been really kind of cool. But still, painting is also a very fun thing. And we also have its weapons and how they come off and attach. As we can see, we have a kind of like, it almost looks like a halo blade. So that actually looks kind of dope, actually. And we have various other things that we can add on to the shield, such as clamps, blades, you name it, you can probably put on it. And then we have the assembly parts on where they go for the shield, and where the backpack unit goes on, as well as how to put on the basically plasma cape. Now let's move on to the actual quality of the plastic and take a look at what everything looks like. Alrighty, starting off with Runner A. This is where we're going to be seeing a lot of our black and red pieces, and these are mostly for like the blades added armor and various vents, such as we have our shield, we have our head, which comprises of, I believe, 3 pieces here, side armors, parts for our sideways, lots of vents and panels, and we also have our red armor and blades for more of the top portion of the unit. So overall, it is really well molded. The detail is very nice, and it has a lot of really cool lines for panel lining. So that's going to be really fun to go and panel line all of these lines. And I would basically do like gray on black, black on the gray, and various other colors. But overall, this looks really nice. The blades are really nice. And overall, it is a very solid. There's not a lot of flash marks. There's a few when you can see on some of the darker colors like the black, but overall it looks really nice. Moving on to Runner B. This is going to be where we're going to be having most of all our joints. And as we can see, it is a gold color, so a lot of this is going to be a lot of the inner frame, joints, and pegs and hands for this unit. Next up, we have Runner C, and this looks like it's going to be comprising more of the backpack portion, since its majority of this is the black parts. And as we can see, it's really nicely molded. We have parts for the shoulders and the backpack portion. I believe these are actually for its thighs, for its legs, or it could be part of our boosters along with this side. Moving on, we have runners D1 and D2. So we have a few duplicate parts, but each one has some various differences. So let's take a look at the ones that are the different on here, which we will start with D1. We have the basic parts for our feet, armor, and various other parts for the leg. The parts that are a little bit different are the back armor, the waist unit, and for parts of the arm armor here. While on D2, we have the same layout, but we have the front and back armor pieces for the chest unit, with 2 noticeable holes for the placement of the backpack. We also have the top portions of the hands. Moving on to Runner E. This is one where we actually have a carbon copy of each other. So these are comprising parts of the leg unit, and as we can see, there are the little squares that would have those kind of a gray sticker put on them. So I'm going to try to paint these along with various other chest units and vents on here. Now moving on to the PVC parts, and as we can see, we have this really nice plasma cape, and it's actually fairly flexible material as I'm kind of molding it around in my hand. So that's going to give a really nice kind of flutter effect. It's not really thick, but it's firm enough where it's going to be really nice, and it's fairly posable. Next, we have the plasma beams, and weirdly enough, they give us a complete extra set. So whatever you want to use them for, go for it. And we have several varieties, and we have 2 that are kind of different for the pegs. We have 2 that are round, and then we have squared. So I think you're going to be using the round ones more than the squared, but you have options for other model kits that probably don't have a cool beam saber effect. I know several that this could work fairly well for. Last but not least, we have our sticker sheet, and this is going to comprise most of all of our gray and a little bit of our red and various other hazards and custom pieces, such as like these little yellow triangles. I may end up just using those because I have a feeling that there ain't no indentation of the yellow for where they are placed on that. So I may end up having to use a few of these stickers, but overall I try to avoid the sticker sheets, but they are actually really nice. So if you don't have any means of painting just yet, or you're still hesitant on start painting, these are really nice to give you the detail that you need to make this kit shine. Now this is what the completed Shi-Ve looks like, and I did do a little custom painting with some Gundam markers, and it turned out fairly well for at least a straight build in a one night session. It looks phenomenal. The build quality was excellent. There wasn't a lot of issues with the fitting or the joints. Let's take a kind of a look around this, and as we can see, this has a lot of really cool gimmicks, especially this kind of plasma cape. As I mentioned earlier, it is a very translucent, and we also have a lovely backpack, and we have nice little jets nozzles here, and this was really well built. And I did do a little custom, especially with all the blades. As you can see, that is a chrome finish to those blades. I thought it would make it a little bit more sharper. And as we can see, we have a cool shield gimmick where it comes out, and we can actually pose this in different orientations, and they do close for both that and that. So overall, this is a really cool model kit. It was a little more sticker heavy than I would have liked, especially when you see on the legs right here, each one of those little white spots on here were supposed to be stickers, but I ended up deciding to paint them with the Gundam markers. So I kind of went beyond what needed to be done to get a straight build. Overall, this looks phenomenal. The color is great, and like I said, the fit was beautiful. And the thing is, the chest actually opens up to see some vents in here. So that is actually kind of cool. You can't really see it because it's dark, but those open up for the chest unit to see the vents that are on the inside, and they just fold right back into place. That is really good attention to detail. And speaking of detail, this actually can come off and on, so that is actually really cool. And it even has these cool toe blasters or sabers that are on here. So this is already looking like a phenomenal kit. I highly recommend picking this up if you are a Gundam Seed fan, because these are phenomenal kits, especially with the eye. You can't really see it, but it gave you 2 stickers for the eyes, and they were more like, one was a solid red eye, kind of like how you would see with a Zaku, like when you're going evil in those animes, or the side swipe, where it's like it's in motion and it's about to strike, and you see those kind of red glares going through. So those were the 2 options for the eyes. So that was the only sticker I actually put on here, and you can barely even see it. But overall, I highly recommend this. Alright everyone, that's going to conclude this episode of the unboxing and build review of the Black Knight Squadron Shi-Ve-A from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom. I really liked building this, as we pretty much saw earlier in the video. But if you guys like this type of content, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave comments down below of what you guys want to be featured on this channel, since I do all sorts of Bandai product, from figurines to models. And if you have any particular older model kits that you want to be featured, or you're getting ready to build and you want a kind of a tutorial on that, please leave those down below for me to read, because I do read those comments. So until then, I will see you guys in the next episode.